Daniel McFadden, frontstretch.com. Denny, is this your final contract extension?
I would say probably most likely. Yeah. Who knows, but most likely.
Okay. You turn 45 in November. There's been lots of talk.
I'm aware.
There's been lots of talk about over the last few years about people in the industry getting burnt out, especially with how long the season is. You got a lot going on your plate, but I am curious at this point in your life, how have you gone about keeping from getting burned out and wanting to do this year after year, especially at this point in your career?
Yeah, good question. I would say it's kind of a twofold thing. You know, some of it is myself motivating, right? I have, goals I'd like to reach in the Cup Series. Really strong relationship with Joe, doing it for them and their family as well to keep going. And then obviously the ability to win week in, week out, that certainly is a high motivating factor in wanting to do this. And certainly, I think about on a weekly basis, would I want to do this if I didn't have the ability or couldn't win as much? It probably would not. The motivation wouldn't be there, but certainly as competitive as I am, I'm motivated by being able to win.
Lee Spencer, SiriusXM NASCAR Radio. With free agency being such a big thing, what does it mean that you've spent your entire Cup career at Joe Gibbs Racing?
A lot. I mean, they're the ones that, went out on a limb and hired me when I had nothing, and nothing of nothing. They took a chance on me, and JD obviously believed in me quite a bit. So, you want to pay back that loyalty to the family that gave you that start. And, it'll be, well over 20 years that I'll be with them, and couldn't imagine, racing for any other organization, much less family.
Jordan Bianchi, The Athletic. Why 2 years? Why not 3 years? How did you settle on 2 years?
What's that?
Why 2-year extension, not a 3-year extension? Why? How did you settle on that number?
For me, it's all I feel comfortable. 3 years. Who knows what could happen 3 years from now? So, I just want to make sure that I give them proper time and make sure I commit to them for not 1 year, multiple years. Let them try to continue to build the program. But no particular reason other than, at my, if I was 26, I would take 10 years. But I just, I want to make sure that I'm still at my peak form in my final year. And, that could be tailing off in 3 years. So I don't want that.
Steven Sum, frontstretch.com. Denny, you said you wanted to, race as long as you remain competitive. Hypothetically, if you just kept winning year after year after year, is there a certain age where you'd be like, I think it's time to hang it up? Or just, do you want to go indefinitely as long as you can?
I don't know. I'd like to just see kind of where I'm at, 2 years from right now. Just kind of where's the team at? What's their plan B? Where are they at with that? And then just, see how competitive I am, how good do I feel, how much and how bad do I want it? I mean, all those things are just big factors in it. But I want the ability to know I can win my last race. That's going to be the deciding factor. I'm not going to wait until I start to head downward and then retire. Like, I don't want to go through a whole year of that. I understand if it just happens naturally in the second half of the final year, then it just happens. But I don't want to have to go through another season. Like, if I start tailing off at the end of next year, I'll just retire. I mean, I can retire whenever I want to retire. So I think that, I'm just going to see how things go. But ultimately, I want to give, as long a commitment as I can to GGR.
Pat Jaggers, Motor Racing Network. Once you hang up the helmet, I know it's kind of hard to kind of follow up to his question, but it's kind of hard to think about what's going to happen 2 years from now. But once you hang up the helmet, are there interests or things you'd like to maybe focus more on, or things you'd like to try beyond driving and being in the cockpit of a race car? And if so, what are some of those things?
I think I just need to see what retirement's like. whether I'm bored or not. I mean, I just don't see myself as someone that is able to go from this crazy world and life that I live with all these things to then just shutting it down to zero. So I think I need to just feel those first few months out. Obviously, feel like, with 2311, there's an opportunity there to be winners of this sport long after I'm done driving. So that will take up more time. I'll give more time to that. But then beyond that, I don't know. I'll figure out how much golf I can play and how many fish I can catch.